Welcome to Solutions Studio. This is a free series on C programming language. If you like these videos, please subscribe to follow along with this series. Also, please like and leave a comment and share the video to help spread this series. Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we would like to introduce you to a new topic, that is file processing. So you know from the previous episodes that whenever we wanted to introduce a variable, we could store some data in a variable. But the problem with that is that all variables, when the program is completed, the value is lost. So what can we do to make the value and the result that we get from a program to make it permanent and to save it somewhere permanent? Well, we can do that by using files, and we can store files on hard drives, on USB disks, on CD drives, and as such on permanent mediums. So the data structure that we use with files is called also file, and it's written all in uppercase, file. And this is how we introduce files, or we can manipulate files in C programming language. We will discuss about how to exactly open and create files in the later episodes, but for now you need to understand that just like memory, files is also a sequential stream of bytes. So one byte after another byte, they are stored sequentially on the medium such as hard drive, and files are usually marked by the end of file marker, and this marker indicates at the end of a file. And we would also use this marker in many of our programs. And lastly, I would like you to know that we have three standard streams in C programming language. That is the standard input stream, the standard output stream, and the standard error stream. And whenever you open a file, C associates a stream with that file. And whenever the program execution begins, C can open these three streams automatically. And that's it for this episode. See you in the coming episodes, where we will dive into file processing in more details. Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we will open a file, and basically if the file does not exist, we will create it first and then open the file. So let's go and jump right into the example that we have here in the main function. As you can see in here that we are using the file data structure. This is a data structure that is used to manipulate files, and this data structure is included here in this header file stdio.h. So remember that whenever you're dealing with files, you do need to include this header file. Now, using this file data structure, we would like to create a pointer that is called f pointer or file pointer, and the initial value of this pointer is going to be null. Then we are going to use this if open function. This function is going to take the name of a file, and also it's going to take a mode that it wants to open that file with. So the mode that we have provided in here is W. W means write. So we would like to open this file, and the mode that we would like to open this file is a writing mode. And the thing that you need to remember is that whenever you open a file in the W mode, if the file does not exist, C will create the file automatically. So if this was a read mode, and if the file does not exist, this function would return a null to this pointer. But now when we open it with the write mode, even if the file does not exist, C will create the file from scratch, and it will return the location of the file to this file pointer, and this file pointer will record the location of this file. Now, where exactly is this file created? This file is created in the directory that my program is saved. That is this directory: C users, my name, desktop, C programming language, episode 446, and I have this open in here. You can see that this is the folder that my C file is saved, and this is exactly where the new file is going to be created. Unless if we want to create it somewhere else, then we can provide the full path to that location, and then the file will be created in that location. So in here I've provided the path for C drive, and it will be created in C drive. But we do not want that. We want it on the same folder that is my program. And after we have opened the file, or basically created and opened the file, we are using this file printf. This file printf function, as a first argument, it's going to take this pointer. So this pointer is going to be the destination that this printf statement is going to write. Now what it will write is going to be defined in here. Basically in this part we are going to have the conversion specifications of what type of data we want to write on this file, and finally in here we will have the arguments that we would like to print or write. So I would like to write a string, this is a test, to this file. And that's it. Once this is done, we would like to close the file, and we can do that using the fclose function and providing the file pointer as an argument. And that's it. Let's go and run this program. And as you can see, the program was returned with a value of 0. That means that it was successful. Let's go and open this directory. And you can see that the file is created. Let's open it, and you can see that the text is also written in here. And that's it for this episode. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to see you in the coming episodes. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we are reading from a file. In the previous episodes we created and also we wrote to a file. So in this episode we will be directly reading from a file. Now here in the main function you can see that we have our file data structure. We will create a pointer of this file type, and we will initialize it to null, because this is a good practice to always initialize your pointers to null. Then we are also creating a string of 60 characters that we will be using later on. Now using the fopen function, we are opening this file and we are opening it in the read mode. And in case this file does not exist, a null is going to be returned to this pointer, and that's why we are checking on this pointer. If this pointer is a null, we will say that this file cannot be opened or this file does not exist. Basically it's an error. Otherwise, if the file pointer is returned, what we are going to do is that we will see that if we can get some strings or some characters from this file. Using the fgets function, we are trying to read 60 characters, and we are reading it from the file pointer, and this pointer is pointing to the file that we are reading from, and then we are going to store it into this variable. And we also see that if nothing was read from the file, a null is going to be returned by this function, and we do not want that. So if null was not returned, and that means something was read from the file and it was stored into this character array of string in here, then we are going to print that string. And we also see that if null was returned by this function, we know that no data was on that file. Basically the file was blank, and that's why we would write on the screen no data on the file. And finally we will close the file using the fclose function. Let's go and run this program. This is a test. This is the text that we wrote using our previous episode on this file in here, and you can see that this time we are reading this text. Let's go and open this file to see if it really has those contents, clients.txt, and you can see that it has the text. Let's go and make it empty, basically save it now, and the file is blank. Let's go and run this program. And now you can see that no data on the file. Basically, we run this part of the program. And what if we delete this file? Now the file is completely deleted and we are trying to run the program. You can see that the file could not be opened. And that's it for this episode. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to see you in the coming episodes. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we discuss about this keyword which is used as a end of file indicator. And we usually use this indicator when we don't want to write into the file anymore. So let's go and see this example that we have in here. We have the file data structure and the pointer that has been created and initialized to null initially. This is a file pointer indicator that is going to be used with the fopen function. This fopen function is going to open the abc.txt file in the write mode and will return the pointer to this file pointer. Now we also have a character array of word which we are going to use to store some words. After that, we are prompting the user to enter any word, and that word is going to be written to the file that we have specified, that is abc.txt. The user inputs the word, and we are going to store it into this word character array. And we also check whether the end of file indicator was used by the standard input, that means by the keyboard. So if end of file indicator exists within the keyboard input, that means that we do not want that this negation operator means that if there is an existing end of file indicator in the standard input, then it makes this statement false, the while loop will end and the file will be closed. Otherwise, the while loop will continue running and will ask for more and more words to be written to the file. And as soon as the end of file indicator is entered into the standard input keyboard, then the while loop will stop and close the file. And that's it. Let's go and run this program to see how it works. So we want to enter a word to be written to the file. We want to write hi. We want to write hello. And we want to write how are you. And at the end, we have stopped entering and we will enter the end of file indicator, that is Control Z in Windows. So this is a Control Z that I entered on my keyboard, and this is specific to Windows. In macOS or Linux, this could be different. Now enter, and as you can see, we have stopped reading from the user. And that's it. Let's go and check this file in here. And you can see that all of these words were written to the file. In fact, what we could have done is that we could have put a space in here, then there would be space between each word. Now if I run this program once again and try with the space, hi, how are you in the file, and that's it. Let's go and see this file. And now we have these spaces between these words. And that's it for this episode. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to see you in the coming episodes. Stay tuned.